Hey everybody, how's it going? Before this episode starts, just want to put out there that there are some little audio glitches, but they're not terrible, but they're there. They're there. You'll notice them. I can't talk. It's early for me. Also, the video fucks up. It's a Return of the Living Dead 3 situation. It fucks up, so it's gone for a little bit. It comes back for the last half of the podcast, so the last half hour, 40 minutes, it's all back. But, yeah, just didn't want you to be surprised by little ticks you might hear. So, anyway, thanks for listening to me warn you about how shitty this one is. And enjoy the podcast. Alright, guys. Take it away, you fat fuck Thomas. Alright. We're back. Get hype. Graveyard Shift Movie Podcast, episode number 51. This week, it was Maverick's pick. And he picked like 6 movies, and then we discussed which one we should watch. And we settled with Army of the Dead from 2021, a Netflix exclusive, starring Dave Bautista, and directed by Zach Snyder. It was alright. There you go. In the podcast, I'll give it a 6.
That's it. See you next time, guys.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6. It's prefaces. This shit is 2.5 hours long. It did not need to be this long, but
It didn't.
But yeah, it's all right. I'll give it a 6. Maverick.
It was definitely long. Not my type of movie. I give it like a 4.
Little foe.
Yeah, a little 4.
Yeah. Tyler.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
A 3, like a swish 3, like a good 3, or a
No,
or a field goal 3, like I
don't know. I would watch 3 of the worst movies instead of watching this again. That kind of 3.
Damn.
Oh, you're wild. I don't think this movie is anywhere near that bad, but
Well, I mean, I didn't give it a 1.
you didn't give it a 1, but anyway.
There's a lot of bullshit involved
Yeah.
in this movie.
Well, hey, spoiler warning for Army
Bullshit.
of the Dead. For Army of the Dead, we're gonna ruin everything about it. So, you've been warned. I'm using that from now on. I said in the last episode. Anyway, first off, the intro to this movie starts off, and it's like slow-mo. It's playing, what's the song they use? Oh, Viva Las Vegas. That's
Is
it.
it Vivo? No, I thought it was Careless Whispers. Or Careless Heart.
No.
Suspicious Minds.
They said Las
Suspicious
Vegas, like,
Minds is technically Suspicious Minds is the beginning of this movie with the people who just got married in Vegas, and then they're driving back, and they run Roadhead, yeah, and then they run head on into this army truck that's carrying a special shipment that flies off of the truck and shit, and then you
Dude
find out,
acting like he never got a blowjob before in his life. I hated that whole thing.
yeah, and then
What is going on with this?
yeah.
That's
And then
not boy.
the special shipment ends up being a zombie, a singular zombie.
The alpha zombie, not
The
other
alpha,
zombie.
yeah, the alpha zombie that we'll learn later. By the way, though, I thought after the Roadhead bullshit, I thought that it was decent, the build up to the zombie coming out.
It was pretty good.
And like they're getting closer, and they got this ominous music, and the truck's on fire in the background. And I thought that was decent. And then he came out, and he started doing some, like, alpha Superman shit, where he's jumping around on them.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
Agile.
you know, like,
Dodging bullets.
It looked
almost.
really fake too.
It did.
really fake. I got a big problem with this movie, and you know I'm a gore fan.
Really?
so,
I didn't have any problems with the
I was
there's
so confused. There's these blue sparks that fly, and I don't know what the fuck that is.
we're getting into that. Don't. But anyway, so the zombie breaks out, kills the whole platoon. then they come back to life, or at least 2 of them, because you don't see any of the other 20 that he killed, but the last 2 he kills come back to life.
I think he bit the last 2. He didn't bite the other ones. He just ripped
Yeah.
them apart. That was my theory, but you know.
Yeah, and then it goes into a slow-mo of Viva Las Vegas, and it's showing like all this slow-mo where you get guys killing zombies, and then they'll be standing there with pictures of their families and stuff. And I was like, okay, I take that back. The first thing you get is zombie strippers with their zombie titties hanging out, and I was like,
Yeah.
What?
It froze. Anyway, yeah. So zombie strippers with their titties hanging out. But so then I'm like, all right, this is kind of cool, right? And I'm digging it for a while. And then after a little bit, I was like, this is still going.
It was pretty long.
And they did the whole song. And they do the thing that we talked about. I can't remember what movie we talked about. But every song in this movie is like a classic, well-known song that then they get some like lady to sing over an acoustic guitar or a piano or something, right? So, yeah, and it went on like 6 minutes, the intro of this movie. And I still don't know who those people were with Bautista in the intro, that they get crushed by the wall coming down, and they were just a random people.
I have a problem with that.
Okay.
So they're showing that they're using these like storage containers, right, to build the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look, the last storage container is like 3 storage containers sliced and then put back together to look like one storage container.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is it not just a normal storage container? The whole movie is it's something.
Yeah. So the premise of this shit from Combat. Also, no, I don't know the guy's real name. I do know his name, but I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna.
I can't pronounce it. I had the cast.
Go ahead, Maverick.
No, I'm not. I can't pronounce it either.
Oh, okay. Well,
If Maverick can, we can.
Yeah. Go for it.
Spooky.
Anyway,
part of saying now.
Hiroyuki Sanada.
Yeah.
There you go.
Probably
Perfect.
the fuck out of that.
No,
That's perfect, man. Somewhere in the world, he was like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
Like he looked.
Nose itching. He's like,
someone talking to me.
Yeah.
He got
Sneezes. That's what it is.
He owns some corporation, okay? And they got a vault inside of this shit that they have $200 million in. Alright? So he goes to Bautista and says, hey, they're gonna nuke Las Vegas, by the way. They're gonna do this little nuke on Vegas to get rid of all the zombies that they've walled in to Vegas. And so he says to Bautista, he's like, hey, there's $200 million in this vault. I want you to take a team, go in there, get it, and then you can have $15 million to split amongst yourselves.
50
million, sorry. That was the thing.
500 or what they were splitting.
Yeah, it was 50 million, and then it was like, oh well, I figured we could each take 15 to that lady, and then the people that he gets brings their own little crew, and so they'll divvy up. So that's the premise of the movie. And he has to get in. They have 36 hours before Las Vegas is nuked, because it's getting nuked. Its son's president said, and I quote, "It'd be really cool to like have fireworks," and I was like, I mean, yeah, man. And people were against nuking Vegas.
It was just a bunch of zombies. I don't understand.
I don't know why they were so mad at nuking Vegas, but I guess they were because they're at that camp.
Well, they got all of them out.
Yeah, but they didn't want them nuking. Yeah, so then that'll come and play later, where 4th of July, they move it up. So then once they're inside, they have like an hour and a half, and they have an hour and a half. And then like 5 minutes of screen times goes by, and then Dave Bautista is like, "We got 20 minutes," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it seems like
the only part of this movie that went by quickly.
Yeah, was that? What you guys want to talk about?
I want to talk about the little cholo girl.
With the red bandana?
Yeah, if you look, she says she's never killed a zombie, and she like raises her hand, right? Because she doesn't know how to do it,
Chambers?
but
Was that her name?
I think it was Chambers.
Sure.
And then you get into the thing, undercover guy who's like evil, and he like throws her down the wrong directional path, right? So this lady goes from never experience to killing like 3,000, jumping through windows, all kinds of shit. And I was like, this is cool, but why her? Make it the other lady who's like fucking ex-military car mechanic, lady.
Well, yeah, they have this whole thing where this agent who works for Scorpion, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna come with you because I know the place, so I'm gonna show you around. So they don't trust him. They have a conversation literally a foot away from him. How they're like, we should kill him. Yeah. And then they look over. I'm like, how? And they're not being quiet,
really stupid, because like, it's a free country. Well, this is extra free. I'm like, what is this shit? Like, there's so much of that in this movie.
There's a lot of weird, undertones that they try to throw. They're like going through this pathway of zombies that are sleeping, and they're laying down glow sticks so they can follow each other's path.
Remind you of the game we played, boy?
Yeah.
I was like, fucking Tom, we'd all be dead.
So the red bandana lady tells him, they're the last tick, you go ahead of me. And he's like, why, you want to check out my ass? He's joking around. She's like, no, I don't trust you. We're going to kill you or something. I was like, okay, weird thing to say at a time like this. So he's like, gotcha, bitch. And he throws it down the different way.
Exact words, right?
Yeah. And so she goes down that way. She starts like slowly, like silently killing them with a knife, and then one of the dead zombies' arm hits a bunch of right.
At first, it was one by one, and she was knifing.
Yeah,
them, but then all of them,
and then she started just popping.
She like, oh fuck,
she was
heads off, man.
Shooting with this hand, stabbing with this one.
It was a savage, dude. I love that scene. It was so it was well done too.
But it was a nobody. It was someone who had.
Yeah, so the lady's blasting, right? And then I started thinking to myself, every time in a scene like that, you're like, okay, well, this lady's going to die, right? I was like, it'd be cool if she didn't. Like, if she lived, and then was like, hey, this guy locked me out, or tried to set me up, right?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, it's not going to happen, right? She ends up living the whole time until she gets to the door to leave. And the agent dude gets there first, and then he like locks her out. He puts a thing in the door, okay? And so she's like, you motherfucker, and she goes to shoot him, but she's empty. And the dude was like, oh, and he jumped back or whatever. And so then you're like, oh, okay, she's dead now, She comes busting through the right, and she still kill him. And I was like, whoa, I was like, she's really gonna end up living out of this. This is gonna be cool, right? But then the agent dude's like, oh, she's dead already, leave her. And I was like, she looks still alive to me. I don't know. And her friend's just standing there watching instead of running up there and helping.
Shoots a zombie off her before she gets got. And I'm like,
I don't.
Easily savable.
Yeah. And so then eventually she gets swarmed and they start chomping on her, okay? And so she looks at the guy, her friend, and tells him to run. Now, why wouldn't she go, hey, that guy just locked me out of the door. Be careful with him. But she doesn't say that. And so then her friend shoots the gas tank that was on her back to blow up the zombies that were on her. And so she's dead.
Yep. That was the first death to kick everything off, right?
I guess technically you had the douchebag cop who was brought along.
Oh, nobody.
Yeah, that was such a nothing character, by the way. Like, as soon as he's taken, and the lady's like, "Oh, they're gonna take it, and they're gonna turn him into a zombie," and so you're like, "Okay, he's gonna come back as a zombie and then confront Batista's daughter because he has a whole scumbag cop thing going on at this camp.
It's abuse
where he's like
the power
harassing women or some shit, And so you're like, okay, so I started thinking this guy was going to be a problem, the whole movie. I was like, he's gonna come back as a zombie and be like a mini boss, you know, to the shows up in the last 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, he's back. He munches on some random lady that was in there with the lady that Dave Bautista's daughter came in to see, who you only got one scene of her in the camp. So then when the Bautista's daughter was like, Helica, or whatever that lady's name was, is missing, I was like, who? And then the lady that was in that scene with you, okay. He munches on that random lady, and then Bautista's daughter go, and she stabs him. And that's it. That's all that guy did. And I was like, what?
You realized that was him.
Yeah, that was who that was.
Well, no, Bautista shot him in the head.
No, Bautista shot the alpha zombie in the head. She knifed him in the face.
Okay.
All these deaths kind of blend in.
Yeah.
For a long movie, there really isn't like...
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't particularly like any of these characters. There's nothing special there.
I
the
like
only
the
ones...
Cracker.
I like
the Safecracker and the black dude. Those were the only two that I was like...
Hardwick.
Right. Yeah.
That's his
Those
name,
are
Hardwick,
the only
okay.
two that even had any role.
Hardwick didn't like the Vault dude at first. And then by the end of the movie, the
That's
Vault
fucking
dude, spoiler, is saving Hardwick's life and like pushing him into the safe. Which I knew that homie was going to survive that nuke at the end. Which, why couldn't this movie... I get what they're doing. Because Hardwick, spoiler, they nuke the town, alright? And Hardwick had just gotten pushed into this vault by the Safebreaker kid.
Dieter. That was his name, Dieter.
Okay, well, I'm just going to call him Safebreaker kid. And, and he gets pushed in the vault to be saved from the alpha zombie that then kills the Safebreaker kid. So the nuke hits the town.
But
and I remember being
assume he might not have killed him. We don't know.
It's true. So the nuke hits the town, and I was like, oh, I bet Hardwick's probably alive because he was in that vault. And sure enough, it pops open, and money bags come flying out. And, and dude's alive. I thought, which wouldn't make sense because he didn't know it, I thought he was going to go and try to kill... Because you find out Scorpion, all he wants is the Queen's head, the Queen Zombie's head, which I don't think they ever explain why it's worth money and why he wants it.
Yeah,
do they? Okay.
They can make the mindless zombies, so it was better than any weapon of mass destruction ever devised.
All right.
That dude's name's Tanaka.
Scorpion. Yeah. But it's like, okay, this is the problem with this whole movie for me.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Is like, why not give him a mission just to capture the zombie? It looked really easy. The guy did it with no problem.
Because of money.
They could have they could have. They saw the queen at the very fucking beginning. Guy could have shot her with that bolo. They could have, all right, and then they could have just walked through the fucking door and game over.
Yeah,
movie's done.
Yeah, like I don't know why. Hey, I'll give you this much money if you go get this lady, and they're like, okay.
20 million didn't mean shit to him, right? Like, or 200 million.
Yeah, he was like, he doesn't care about the money. Fuck the money. He just wants this.
Yeah, he was like,
done it though is the question.
Yeah,
they did it for 50 million. So what?
And if he didn't have to tell him, I'm gonna make mindless zombies for this, that he could just say, hey, go capture this queen lady for reasons.
He could have, used some bullshit where he was like, I think we could cure it, and then Batista's like, I had to kill my wife. He would have went and got it for a cure.
But
so
people
didn't have to do the same shit. God, I hate this movie.
So Hardwick's alive, and so I'm like, he's gonna go kill Tanaka, but then I was like, I don't think he knew Tanaka was evil at that point. I think he just thought. But
he goes to do a mission and fucked it up. But he still had the money. So.
In the beginning, he's like, I don't like you, but I'm gonna take the job.
He goes to
like an airport.
Rent this private jet, right? And he's like partying on it, okay? And I'm like, oh, I bet you this is Tanaka's private jet. That's what I was thinking, you know? And then he's drinking champagne, and then he's like, oh, and he's feeling woozy. And I was like, don't you do this, movie. And then he goes in the bathroom, and he looks, and he's been bitten at some point. And he was like, oh, fuck. And that's how the movie ends. And it's landing in New Mexico. So presumably...
Mexico City.
Was it just Mexico? Okay. Yeah. So presumably he's going to turn into a zombie, infect the people on the plane, and then it's going to start all over again
But
in
he's the
Mexico
alpha
City.
now.
Yeah, you would assume.
Had
But so I
a
guess that's how they leave it open for a sequel. But I was like, why can't you just give us one happy? Because Batista had just died, and you had to sit there while he was like, "Let me look at you," to his daughter, to his choked to his daughter.
A little bit. They take off in the heli. Batista, his daughter, and the heli pilot. The nuke blows up the town. Shockwave makes the heli crash.
Yeah, they got Modern Warfare, where where you're flying away and that nuke hits, and then you stand up.
Yeah. The heli crashes. Batista got bit by the Alpha.
Yeah, in a fight with the Alpha on the helicopter.
Yeah. So Batista's dying. The helicopter pilot died in the crash. Batista's daughter.
She got shot in the middle of the fight too.
She did. She didn't give a fuck though. She kept flying.
I hate that comedian so much.
Oh, she was a comedian. I didn't even know that.
In real life, she's a comedian.
I saw she's on Conan saying Conan gave her big break, but I didn't know who she was.
I'm not a big fan. I'm just like, come on. But anyways.
So anyway, go ahead.
And then Batista's daughter has to shoot Batista in the face.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it was
crying.
It was a throwback to what Batista had to do to his own wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to draw the parallels or whatever, but as soon as you knew what happened in the movie, you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah,
right? Like,
I thought it was really lazy too. That you get flashbacks. Batista's dreaming, and he's killing his wife. Is turned into a zombie. You find out that his daughter is his stepdaughter. He married her mom, so and they're not on talking. They're talking terms. Is that right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Speaking terms, that's what I was thinking of. And so he assumes it's because, I killed her mom or whatever, right? But it's just the same old, because she goes, no, that I understand why you did that. It's just that you weren't there for me afterwards, right? And so Batista says the one thing I think I've heard more in every movie that's like this, where he goes, every time I look at you, I just see her. And it hurts. And I was like, you couldn't come up with anything better than this, Zack Snyder. Like, that was the line.
Zack Snyder really let the ball drop in this one. Like, he just made, like, a zombie shoot-'em-up movie. And put, like, the smallest amount of plot in there as possible.
He didn't put that many zombies in there, either. Like, the zombies...
You got mindless zombie killing, really. Just, like, spraying down a horde of zombies as they come. That was pretty much the movie.
They go into Vegas and they buy off the zombies when they go in. I don't like the zombies in this movie. They were way too, like, normal for me.
You see the way the Queen would walk and she would, like, dance around? It reminded me of Empress from Suicide Squad.
Yeah. And they have a whole where the Alpha Kid, they have like a romantic relationship with the zombie queen, I guess, where they stand next to each other and they zombies. They were too like, I don't know. They were just too those alpha zombies like putting on a mask that looks dumb. He looked like that orc king dude from Lord of the Rings when he put on that mask. But
well, it's like the tiger, right? The tiger was really cool when you first saw it. And then you realize that it listens to the king, and it's like his pet or whatever. I was like, man, they couldn't just let this tiger be a tiger out there, tigering up. But
that tiger though did probably have the best kill of the whole movie, which was where he just fucks up the agent dude, and then like bites his head in half or whatever.
Or some shit. Yeah, kills him.
He kills him real good.
Rip his head off after tossing him for like 10 minutes, but no, he just munches on it.
Yeah. My problem, when I said I had a problem with the gore, is they put a lot of gore in the movie, but it's all like super CG gore that really doesn't look that good to me. Like,
I mean, it looked good.
Some of it was better. The one where they smash that zombie and go, and I was like, this is stupid. I was like,
when the queen's head hits the ground.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
It
was like a water.
The guy getting his head bit off was pretty good. What was it? There was one other one that I liked. But I can't. But before that though, the guy had gotten clawed by the tiger, and when he's sitting there and his neck had got, it's like
it's just intermittent squirts.
And I was like, eh.
Yeah, it was obviously CGI, right? Because it was coming out of spots where he wasn't cut. It was just like
it was just
shooting left it because he had a big gash on one side of his neck, so it made sense, squirt there.
Yeah.
But then they started going the other direction too, and you're like, what? How does that work?
But
they had one where they shot the only problem I had with the CGI is they shot a zombie like point blank in the face with a pistol, and his whole head split in half. And I'm like,
I think that was the alpha zombie.
Yeah,
like, it'd be a little hole, a big hole in the back. It wouldn't split his whole head in half. Like, not even a 50 cal would do that shit. Like, come on now. His head just fucking exploded. I was like, nah, that's not how that works.
They needed the grand finale.
It did.
But it all depends.
But
There's like meat lock pressure or whatever, and it makes a vacuum going. Anyways, I don't know. Head's weird because brains act as fluid.
Yeah.
But
by the way, there was that random dude that the one guy brought when they first meet up at the and they're going to discuss the plan. And the plan gets done, and he was like, "We gotta mess with zombies." And they were like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You didn't say nothing about that. I thought we were just doing, whatever he said." And then he's like, "I'm gone." And he leaves.
Yeah, he's out.
Was it just me, or was I expecting them to shoot him in the back?
Yeah, well, the weird thing is, I'm pretty sure this got cut, but because I'm pretty sure that's why the girl hates the head of security. Because if you watch it, well, don't ever watch this movie again. But if you watch this movie again, like the head of security like stands up and he walks forward or whatever, and then the guy just walks away, and then nothing happens.
Yeah, they show him in the background forever getting in his car and I thought it was gonna be like one of the things where he knows our plan. He can't, But from what you see, he just goes, and I was like,
leaves.
all right.
Let's talk for a second, though,
okay,
about why that fucking guy was even picked to begin with. Yeah, he made a YouTube video where he killed 5 zombies.
Yeah, he killed 5 zombies.
Does that equate like, hey, yeah, this guy's capable? Yeah, let's bring him. Yeah,
I mean, he was too.
That's a little.
How did he die in that? I can't remember.
He got bit.
He pulled all the grenade pins, and he was like,
it exploded.
Yeah.
He got tackled by 2 zombies in the casino floor when he was running on the tables. Bautista was running on the tables. Remember? I see it really reminded you, Tom.
You
like his
again.
YouTube channel? Please like and subscribe. I was like, damn. Bro.
Yeah. It freezes for a second, and then it'll go. Yeah, he got bit on the zombie room floor, and then he went. But anyway, it's fine.
No.
It is fine. It's not that bad. There was a part that bothered me where they're about to do. They had got the team together, I think, and they started doing once again. They had a lady over an acoustic guitar singing "There's a Bad Moon Rising" by CCR, right? And so I was like, okay, this song, it's all about ominous, like, disasters coming, and, don't go out tonight and shit, right? So I was like, whatever. And then, literally, 5 minutes later, they do another cover it was probably the same lady singing "The End" by The Doors, where they're on the bus, and it's like, this is the end. And I was like, it was like Zach Snyder just couldn't decide which ominous, like, disaster is coming song he wanted to pick. So he was like, put them both in there, It bothered me more than it should have, but it did. I was like, why would he pick 2 of these? And if he's going to pick 2, save the end for the end. Like, it just makes sense.
There was just a bunch of cliches and like shit they threw in this movie they didn't have to, and I hate when people do that. And like, I have a problem with Bautista because Bautista is this like physically super large guy, right?
He's really fucking big, man.
He's big as a fucking. I like wrestling and shit. I love him. Acting and like what he's turned into nowadays, I just can't stand him.
Whoa.
Like, he's like this super, like, he likes to think of himself as like an intellectual and stuff, and he's always wearing these tiny fucking glasses for no reason.
He had them in the movie too.
and like he's flipping burgers.
Yeah, that's just his eyesight.
Yeah, he just needs glasses. You're making fun of him. Jesus Christ.
And then like he's like at his thing and he's like contemplating the deal and he's sitting in front of a chessboard and I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
I honestly didn't think he was that bad in this movie.
No, he's pretty good.
Hate him.
I think he did really well. Like him as an actor shined when Homegirl died and he went berserk, and like you got to see some like sadness in him.
That's because he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna hit shit. This is what I'm really good at." Right? He went back to his Bautista days.
Yeah, like there were, but yeah, I didn't think he was that bad. I like him as Drax. So shout out to that. I can't. The only other thing I think I've seen him in is that 007 movie where he doesn't say a word, and then spoiler, he gets pulled off a train. I think right before he gets pulled off a train, he goes shit. And then I think that's the only word he says in the whole
he's really
movie.
good. Like I just think he's taking the wrong roles. Like if you ever watch Blade Hunter, the new one, not Blade Hunter.
I never watched it. Blade Runner 2049 or something.
It's pretty good. I like
he's pretty bad in it too, and it's I don't know. Maybe for me, I've just seen him as Bautista all the time, so I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't think he was that bad in this. Let's do.
He's not the worst person in this movie.
Who's the worst person in this movie? Because I would say.
I'm gonna say Lily, but that's just because
which one was Lily?
That was the lady, the coyote, who was getting people in and had that
horrible
accent.
I thought that was who I was gonna say. I thought she was the worst person in this movie too.
Couldn't like tell what her accent. She was supposed to be French, and I was like, "That's not a French." Tete, we know what a French accent is.
Tete,
but,
le frog.
Yeah, but I was just, I didn't see the point in her at all.
Yeah, and it's a whole thing where she made a deal with the agent guy, but then there's the part where the agent at the end finally like turns on him and he locks him out of the hatch up to the roof, right? And I think that Lily lady just goes, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm locking you out." And she was like, "You bastard." And I was like, "That was it? Okay." And they, yeah.
So, I mean, can we get into the worst part, best part?
Me and Tyler are gonna share the best of.
Oh, I don't know. I can't think of the best part of this movie.
Oh,
but.
well, the best part of this movie is they're at the vault now, and they're about to go through like this security door or whatever. And the agent dude is talking to the vault guy, and he's like, "Here, I got this security card or whatever. We need these to get in." And the guy's like, "All right," and he reaches for it, and then the guy lets it go, and it's an extended the clip retractor thing on his vest. And he lets it go, and he goes, "That one's mine. That's for you." And I was like, that's good.
Pretty good, yeah.
And then
should get you inside. Here.
Thank you.
That was mine. Like another one.
I was laughing hard at
and
that.
then he pulls it. He's like, "I got another one." And he gives that to the other guy. And then the worst of, I guess I'm just gonna say the zombies as a whole. Like, I just wasn't a fan of them. Which, I'll give him this. I can appreciate trying to do new stuff with zombies, because zombies are so like, what's the word? Overdone nowadays.
So what new did they do with zombies?
Well, I can't remember the last time, like, they're like a clan, and they have rules. And this is where the recording completely fucked up. So, this thought just doesn't exist anymore. So, R.I.P. that. But I was talking about they had rules, and they were like sophisticated. They had like leadership, and Tyler said it was just like I Am Legend and stuff. But anyway, hey, guess what? Now the video's coming back, because now we're going on to the recording that's not fucked up. So get excited for that. All right, back to the podcast.
Where do we even end?
We were talking about the zombies and I Am Legend in Vegas.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
welcome back. Technical issues.
Technical issues. Can we get a technical issues screen, Tom? Like
Yeah,
the ones
man.
that would pop up on like cartoons.
Technical difficulty.
Yeah, technical difficulty.
Yeah. But Yeah.
Wait, we should take the one from Joker, where when he shoots dude in the face.
Yeah.
De Niro.
Yeah. Spoiler.
Spoiler, yeah, jeez.
But
Everybody's seen
oh,
that.
I guess we were doing best of worst of. I said it was the guy. Best of was the clip thing. And
Oh
then,
yeah, I was pointing out that they did the husband-wife zombie thing, and I Am
Yeah.
Legend.
So anyway, Maverick.
Like everything,
Oh.
everything in this movie is like ripped off from other movies, but I guess you can say that with any movie if you really boil
Yeah.
it down.
Maverick, you got
That made it
best of worst of.
Me?
Yeah.
Best of. I mean, they didn't really do much in this. The gore was decent. The zombies were decent. Like, I didn't have a problem with how they looked or anything. You didn't really get like you. It was said that the alphas were like real smart and everything. You didn't get too much of them. Maybe they downplayed the alphas a little, or upplayed them a little bit too much. And the plot, which was a negative, was dog shit. I didn't dislike any of the characters, but I didn't like any characters. Like, I didn't fall in love with any of them. I wasn't sad when any of them died. Like, I mean, to be fair, most of them died like badasses. Homeboy blew himself up. Homegirl fucking went out killing fucking hundreds of zombies.
Whoa! What about the main chick at the elevator? She went out like a chump.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about yeah. She's like, I'm gonna go with you. I'll keep you safe. And he's like, all right. Elevator opens up. Ah! Just snaps her neck. Her that was it. When I said there was another thing that looked bad, when her spine and pops out her neck, I was like, oh.
Yeah. It was for like a trained military. I don't know if she was trained military, but I know Bautista was. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, you got the Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
Which they like to say
time
that
of a
in
fucking
shows a lot.
snail, dude. Like, the door, an elevator door opens and there's a zombie there, and they just stood there looking at it. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Come on. And you think you'd be on edge that whole time you were there in that situation, right? But no, a zombie. The elevator door opens, which is already slow as fuck. A zombie pops out, grabs homegirl head and twists it, and he's still standing there just looking at her. I'm like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? And then he goes berserk, picks up homeboy and throws him against the wall, bashing his head in. I was like, okay, you made up for it. It's pretty good. But shit, that's it for me, really.
Tyler, best of, worst of.
Man, I got so many worst ofs. Like, I don't know where to start. I'll start with the first thing that bothered me the most.
Okay.
Well, not the most, but there's a scene where they're securing the area, and his daughter goes up to like close the gate, and she moves this dead guy's hand out of the way, but then the gate doesn't close all the way,
Yeah.
and they never really talk about it at all.
Well, that's
Like,
that's how she got out. Is because that gate, she put the hand there, so then she could go back and slip out that way.
Did I miss that, or did it just
They
not
never
show it?
showed it. You're just supposed to remember. Oh, she put that guy's hand there. So, because I was like, how did she get out? And I was like, oh, that's why she put that hand there to keep that gate from shutting all the way. And then when they go back up there, the hand's gone, or the body's gone because the lady had been back up there.
And the guy just puts his key card, which there's another key card. Like there's obviously two key cards, but you know.
Yeah.
I totally forgot a worst of that I was gonna mention.
Oh.
But you can go ahead. I'm still in my worst stuff. We ain't got to.
It was the what was Vanderho, which is a Hardwick, played by Hardwick. When they're going into the vault, him and fucking safecracker guy, I forgot his name.
Like
and they see the other dead bodies.
Yeet.
But they see the other dead bodies of other people homeboy sent there.
That was my favorite part.
Oh, this could be like we're in a time loop or some shit like that. I was like, okay, that'd be, whatever. But then it shows you the bodies and they're all wearing the same shit. Like
The same jewelry and everything.
yeah,
that
they
the
all
other
have
people
the
are wearing.
same jewelry. You see the red bandana. You see homeboy's cross that he wears. You see
the girl has like this weird key necklace, and it's on it too. Yeah, that was my favorite part of the movie.
I was like, why? Why would you? It'd be cool if without all the jewelry. But then you're like, you gave him the jewelry, so now it is like a time loop because it has to be. What else? Why would they be wearing the same shit? Like,
right? Like
I was like, now why? Why, Snyder? Why?
that
But
was
if
like
it
my
was a time
favorite
loop,
part.
then
You gotta rage quit.
Hardwick
Next thing you
got
know, a
bit,
boat pops up.
so
You're like, no. You find out one of them has a
That was
kid with
weird.
autism. You're like,
That
no.
attention to detail was like the best for me. I was like, yes.
they obviously planned it out, right? Like,
Well, they did nothing with
it
it.
wasn't on
so-
accident. So I don't know. I didn't like that. That was the worst stuff for me. But if they're gonna do a sequel, I mean, come on now. So if they explain that a little better, go into more detail, and they do it well, then I might come back on this, give it a better score. Who knows?
So the worst part about this movie is the glaring "my audience is an idiot" feeling it gives you, because this is literally a zombie town, and we all know that zombies like spread, right?
Uh-huh.
So this one lady randomly has a secret entrance into the zombie land that leads straight to the quarantine zone.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, you don't think the government would have shut that down like instantly? Like,
Yeah.
how would they let that go?
It was weird to me that the government just had nobody. Like, you could go in. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Didn't
It
they?
was-
They
it
said
was
like the
bizarre.
military lost like 50% of their force or some shit.
I don't
right?
know. You get that scene at the beginning of that dude just parachuting down into the zombies. I was like, that's fucked. Like,
So, did it strike y'all weird that none of these people would just take their own life?
Well, you saw those people hanging. They took their own life.
Yeah, but you're zooming down, right?
me every
You're
time
the-
in Battlefield when I parachute, I'm like, no, no.
Because, like, he was, like, parachuting in, and he was shooting them, and there was, like, a sea of them.
Yeah.
I would have just been like, okay,
Yeah, you're like, I'm not dealing with this.
GG. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
good luck, guys. But,
Oh,
I don't know, my favorite
goddamn,
part
what's
wasn't,
going
like,
on with
weird.
everyone pink, bitch?
Fucking lights.
No. Hey, this movie had a budget of $70 to $90 million.
Snyder flick, man. Of course it did.
So, who did you recognize in this movie, other than Batista?
I recognize his
The agent
daughter,
guy.
and I recognize
I didn't.
Scorpion. I didn't
Where's his
recognize
daughter
the
been?
agent. His daughter was in Kick-Ass 2. I think that's the only thing I knew her from.
Wait, you didn't know Burt Cummins, Tom? From I think he was in The Wire.
Who?
The rapist cop.
Yeah, he was on Sons of Anarchy too. He was not OP.
Oh yeah, he was a skinhead.
No, he
Yeah.
was the guy named Juice.
No, this dude
Was he
ain't
not a
been in no
skinhead?
shit
I
I've
swear
seen.
he had skinhead tattoos.
No, he was Juice in Sons of Anarchy.
I didn't watch Sons.
No,
I only
I
watched the
don't-
clips. So.
I don't
Oh.
recognize any of this shit.
But like, you think they could have spent a little bit more money on better
You know,
people?
I don't know if y'all knew this, but Chris D'Elia was supposed to be in this movie.
Yeah.
They CGI'd him out for Helicopter Girl. They just
I
all
mean,
her
I mean,
scenes
it's
were
another.
CGI'd in.
I mean, that's another whatchamacallit, like comedian. You know?
Do you think
So-
they still paid him?
No.
You don't think so?
Well, I wonder if he filmed it.
Yeah, if he filmed it, he was there. I mean, they
If he
would have
filmed it and it
was.
was done already before they decided to cut him. I would assume you get paid after you're done filming, not when the movie comes out.
Or you get
I
fronted
don't know.
a bunch.
Or I'm sure
Maybe
you
not.
get fronted, yeah.
I'm sure it was like in his breach of contract that he wouldn't. I don't know. What did he technically get? He got canceled for talking to underage girls, right?
I think that's
Was that it?
Yeah. And
So-
I guess they CGI'd them out. I didn't notice that it was like she was CGI the whole
it looked.
time.
It was really
so
well done.
Shout out to that.
Well, I mean, it's
Yeah.
got to be easier to CGI someone out than to CGI someone in, right?
Well, they had to CGI that lady in his place.
Well, wouldn't they just recast or just reshoot?
No,
yeah, because she
that would
wasn't
be
in that
way
many
too much.
scenes, really.
Yeah.
But
No, they probably did that on purpose, right? Cut around him. Because if you
maybe
look at it,
there were more scenes.
if it was Christy Elliott, he would have had more scenes. But now since it's helicopter chick, the
Yeah.
whole time she was just up in that
And
helicopter.
most of
They
her
cut her out,
scenes,
like,
it was by herself. So why wouldn't
Yeah.
they just
Yeah.
film that again?
they probably did, to be honest.
Maybe.
Well, the whole rooftop and helicopter were CGI. So she's just sitting in some fucking CGI helicopter.
Oh,
hitting
that was
buttons.
my original worst stuff in
Yeah.
this movie. Is that when you turn on a helicopter and it blows up and the engine's on fire, all you have to do is hit it with a pole and squirt it with a fire extinguisher, and it starts working all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Tyler, the helicopter mechanic over here.
Oh, yeah.
He knows how
Well, I
shit
mean,
works.
Your car leaked coolant one day, and you were like, "The car's dead." Like, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, like, yes, rest in peace.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that wasn't mine. That was Cam's, but
Well, it's still yours.
Well,
but-
listen.
it we didn't know it was coolant at the time. We thought it was like a rust colored, like a
We thought he was
water like
leaking.
AC.
He's-
Yeah, it was
He
leaking.
got
some.
shot.
To be fair, I didn't really take a good look at it because I didn't give a fuck. But
I'm just saying, if your engine in your car ever blows up and it shoots out fire,
Uh-huh.
it's probably done. You're not going to fix it with a stick and a fire.
Yeah, and she had like 20 minutes to fix it
Yeah,
after that.
yeah.
And she was like, no problem.
he's like, "Give
There's
me like
also-
5 seconds."
There's
I was
also
like,
that
"What?"
weird part where she drops him off at the hotel to go save his daughter, and he's like, "Don't screw me." And then they come back and she's gone. But then they're like, "Do you hear that?" And then the helicopter like comes up out, and she's like, "I guess I grew a conscience." And I was like, "Were you gonna leave him for dead?" And I was like, "You made the wrong mistake, bitch. You got popped in the shoulder. You got nuked."
Yeah, he shot her. Like,
Did you think?
just
I thought
left.
she got headshot at first.
Yeah. Well, you saw there's so much blood. that
Yeah, and I
splatters
thought
when gets
they were
shot.
gonna go down or whatever, but no, she
I actually
kept.
really liked the helicopter flying in it, even if it was all CG or whatever. I thought it was really cool how it like went down next to the building and it was like,
Yeah,
I
was
don't
like,
know.
that's cool.
That part looked fake to me because I'm no
Yeah.
helicopter pilot. Don't get me wrong, but that shit didn't look real. Like
you
you
fly
can't
every
just
helicopter.
fall like a brick and then just turn upright and go. Like that's not how physics works.
I
I don't know. The helicopter looked real. So
I didn't think about that part. I thought about when they're here and the wall is here,
yeah.
and then the next thing you know, they're like,
You pull up.
and I was like,
They
no,
jump like 100 feet.
I was
and then
like,
they
no,
clear it. I'm
you'd hit that wall, you're dead. But
I never said what my favorite scene in this movie was.
oh yeah, go ahead.
Well, when it was over. But no, and I also have another worse scene. This movie,
Goddamn.
my favorite scene is when the alpha male at the end and that lady has the head, the gun to it, and she was like, "Don't move, I'll blow her head off again." And then he just fucking yeets that rebar right into her.
Yeah.
That was so
Fixed it to
cool.
the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, fuck yeah. So, my real question for y'all.
Is how
Why
did the
is
zombie get from up on that roof to inside that hotel where the daughter and them were in a split second after that scene?
Well, he probably just followed Bautista. But anyway.
Well, yeah, but they flew in a helicopter away
Well, no,
from
that all happened on the same roof.
I don't.
But,
Was it the same? I don't think it was.
because they took off on the helicopter and he like watched them, and then they landed on a different roof, and then next thing I know, the zombies in there with them, and I was like, how did you get here?
after getting shot with a grenade launcher.
Yeah. Anyway,
right?
go ahead.
Yeah, noob tube, whatever. My whole thing is, Dave Bautista gets bit, they crash, he turns, and it's like literally minutes, right? Homeboy in the vault got bit literally an hour ago.
Yeah, and everyone else has been turning like instantly.
Yeah, but this dude takes, and I guess you can say because he got bit by the main alpha,
Yeah.
but Batista did too. So like,
Yeah, they never go in depth more about what the process is that these zombies have of turning the zombies into like fast zombies and stuff.
some of them have glowing eyes and their head blows up blue. Like, what?
So that's what
You
I was
saw
gonna.
the robot zombie too.
That was the thing. I was like, are these fake zombies? What's going on here? Because they pop a dude in the head and it's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sparks.
And I was like,
what the
is
fuck?
there going to be some conspiracy where all these zombies are like government fucking machines or whatever, and like that the president is like evil and he's going to nuke this town that they infiltrated with all these zombies that are fake? But they never. I don't think they ever say what was up with that fucking thing.
No, a viewer conspiracy theory is that the government before working on the alpha tried to design like this robot zombies.
Yeah.
And that was like a prototype, and then they're like scrapped that and went to the alpha.
Funny.
And apparently, first the beginning of this movie, there was a UFO in the sky.
I saw there was 2 apparently UFOs over.
UFOs.
Yeah. Funny enough,
I didn't see that at all.
I didn't. I read it and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Funny enough, this movie kind of went how I expected Return of the Living Dead 3 to go, where they had a zombie queen that they had formed up an army and like everything. But yeah, she almost kind of looked like her. Obviously, Return of the Living Dead 3 lady was a little more like, she had put shit in her fingers and her titties were hanging out with like shit hanging in them.
She just reminded me of the lady from Suicide Squad. Did Snyder do Suicide Squad?
No, I don't think so. No,
I don't know who made Suicide Squad, but
Snyder did Batman v Superman and the Justice League Snyder cut. Let me see who
Which was
did.
great, by the way.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, the Snyder
I
cut.
didn't watch
dude,
it. It was like
so
4 hours
good.
long or something like that.
Dude, no, it was 4 hours of fucking just crack. It was so good.
Directed by David Ayer.
yeah, that's right, David Ayers.
Yeah, and then James Gunn's doing the second one, which apparently Bautista turned down a role in Suicide Squad 2 to make this movie, which is what I keep seeing the thing where he went to like DC Universal office or whoever does the DC movies to tell them that he wants to be Bane, pitch a Bane movie.
They told him no.
Yeah, they're like, nah, they were like, we're good.
There's I don't know.
Can't
Well, he
beat
said he
Tom
wasn't
Hardy
going to.
Bane.
He also said that he wasn't going to do Marvel anymore because he didn't want to take his shirt off.
He said, he was like, this will be my last movie as Drax. And he was like, this shit's going to come out in 2024. By the time we make another one, I'll be like 64 or some shit. He's like, I'm not going to be in shape to play Drax.
They just put fucking... He's already covered in makeup. What's like a fucking muscle suit? Like, what is that? He's big as fuck anyways. So as long as he doesn't have a gut, he's good.
He like bulked up for this movie, I think. Because he was a big muscle dude in WWE. And then after a while, he got to where he was like a slender muscle. Like he had lost some weight, but like had put it into his
like
arms.
lean.
He's a leaner muscle guy. This one looked like WWE Bautista, where he was a big boy.
Did you see there was a random scene in this where it showed the top of his head?
Yeah,
And it was super wrinkly.
It always looks like that. Yeah, he's got a wrinkly head.
And I was like, what?
I think it's a bald guy thing.
Yours not looking.
There's
that
no
bad.
wrinkles? Yeah, like...
Well, he was laying down though. Like he was on his back or some shit, getting up off the ground.
I don't have the cable link to do
Yeah.
that, but...
All over real quick.
I don't know. But anyway,
I was just like, why did they put that in there? It just made him look bad. Like,
got anything else you want to talk about for this one?
I'm
gonna look
I
through.
don't know. Like I
real fast.
said, it just gave me Mars Attacks and ironically your favorite movie, Return of the Living Dead. I just thought that's what we were watching. Like, and I guess Mars Attacks just because it's Vegas or whatever, right? But
I didn't get either one of those movies. I got Return of the Living Dead 3 just because of the Queen lady, but
it's just the way it starts out. Whereas, like, I mean,
the beginning is kind of yeah. But that's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
Return of the Living Dead 2 is with the truck.
Yeah.
And yeah.
maybe yeah. Well, I just
Yeah.
grouped them all together.
Yeah.
It also gave me some Rob Zombie's Halloween. Is that the cow scene where they're driving down the road and they hit the fucking cow?
Cow!
And they turn over.
That's
Yeah.
Halloween 2. Yeah, that was the best part of that movie. But
How dare you? I don't know.
That movie's garbage.
Did you like the very
The only movie I
beginning
didn't finish.
where the two soldiers are running away from the Alpha, and one of them falls over and shoots on accident, and he's like, "Oh, that was scary, huh?" And the other one gets taken, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
I thought
It
that
got
they
me
did
with it.
like as a gun guy. I thought they did the guns pretty well in this movie.
They did. The guns were alright. They
There
had
wasn't
an
any-
assortment of guns, not just like 10 of like an M4. No, they had F2000s, an MP7, fucking ton of Glocks.
I
I
saw
don't
a
know
bat.
what Batista was using because they gave it a weird sound effect that made it sound like a shotgun, but
it was a
just
fucking-
an AR, right?
It looked like an AK, but it had a fucking AR 60 round mag, the 60 round mag in it. It's not. I don't know if it's technically a drum, or it's like 45 or some shit. So it could have been like a AR AK variant or some shit.
But it
But
just sounded more substantial than
weird.
everything else because it was like, and you were like, what?
Yeah.
And then everyone else's gun was like, beep 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 beep.
I see that mag for ARs all the time on sale, and I'm like, I want one, but I have an AK. Like, what am I gonna do with it, right? 7.62, that bitch don't fit.
You already have a drum for your.
I know I have a drum that holds more than that, but
No
you know,
matter
it is what it is.
no matter what movie we cover, we always reach this portion where there's a gun in the movie, and you two will go back for it. And I sit here and I go,
Yeah.
No, this one did it really well. Like, I love the YouTuber's gun because it was like it was regular AK that was just spray painted gold, dust cover, and I was like, all right. So I was like, that's pretty decent.
I think you get a shot. One of them had a 1911, right? Or was that just me?
I didn't see. Like, I think the fucking guy at the end who got ate by the tiger had one. But
I want y'all's opinion. Okay, so if you're going into a zombie situation where, let's just say Walking Dead. Even though we're doing this movie, let's just say the zombies just walk. There's no running zombies.
if they're fast zombies, I'm dead.
Yeah. So let's just say they walk, right? They're not quick at all.
Yeah.
maybe with that shirt on.
What gun would y'all take? Let's just keep it to guns, not any other sort of weapon, just guns. Because why would you take a 1911? You got 8 rounds, and it's a big fucking bullet. 7, yeah. But you would think you'd want like a high capacity over stopping power, right? Because all you got to do, one shot to the head and done.
Yeah, but a 45 has like barrier penetration, right? So it's going to go through that target and keep moving. It's like that's the whole thing behind like if Rick had his fucking Colt Python or whatever, is that it's a super powerful round, so you can shoot shit through shit,
But he was only ever shooting one zombie point blank at a
I
time.
I'm not defending it.
Yeah.
There's a Kel-Tec 22 pistol that holds 33 rounds.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why don't you just take a 22? Super. The problem with like, if you wanted like high capacity, having an LMG with like a belt, but then it's super heavy weight. Yeah. So to balance that, you get a 22 that's also belt fed, or just has like a drum with like 3 million rounds in it, and you're just going around fucking tapping zombies.
Yeah, but the problem with 22 is it's a rimfire round. It's not center fire. So you get a lot more duds and a lot more failure to feeds and stuff like that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So if you have a
just
22 and you're like fighting for your life, you'll just die,
Yeah. One
Tom's
misfire.
mouth just moved and I heard nothing.
Yeah, he's just sitting there. I don't know.
I was talking to the audience.
Oh.
I wasn't. I was just mouthing. I was just sitting here. They just keep going. I don't know.
What would you take, Tom?
Yeah, what would you take?
I don't know.
You don't have to use names. You could just say that one gun from this movie, and I'll be like, all right.
I don't know.
What's the worst gun to take?
Walking Dead zombies just seem like a flintlock pistol.
A fucking crossbow.
Crossbow, yeah.
It's everybody off a crossbow with field tips. You fucking
flamethrower. Worst gun you could take to a zombie.
True.
They're just them on fire.
Yeah.
True.
Like this did nothing. Yeah.
The part of this movie where he microwaves a hand because he says they go off of heat and not body or whatever.
That's
Well, they didn't talk about. They had the thing where they went in there and those zombies were in the sun. Apparently, they just and then they're like, if it turns night, they'll like wake back up.
No, if it
rains, yeah. And I was like, well, obviously it's gonna start raining at some point, but it never did. That was just a thing they threw. Anyway, the last thing I was gonna talk about in this movie because we missed it and I like this part, was after the blonde chick Lily shoots the cop and is explaining to them, hey, this guy's our payoff or whatever. She's giving this whole speech, and then just in the back, you just finally,
Shoot her in the face.
yeah, he just keeps on shooting her.
She's lying.
She's lying.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, but that was good.
I liked how she explained, like, oh, you think this is their prison? Like the government locked them in? Nah, this is their kingdom. They're staying here for a reason. They could leave anytime. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
They're not locked in here with us. We're locked in here with them. Anyway,
shout out to the Watchmen.
Yeah, Zach Snyder.
Well, this movie never goes into like how zombies are transferred, right? Because like,
Bites.
yeah, but is it saliva? If that was the case, you could just spit on some shit and throw it over the wall.
Yeah. I don't know.
And it never like talked about like their shelf life or how long they can live.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, then that lady bringing stragglers in there for money is the only thing keeping them alive.
What they explained them going in there? What was it again?
I don't remember.
They would pop open lotto machines, the slot machines, and get money so they can have a better life on the outside.
That's see, that's why I didn't feel bad for them, because I was Batista's daughter was like, oh, I gotta go get this random chick who I forget why she was related to her.
They're just friends, I guess.
Yeah,
she watched her kids or whatever.
Why the fuck do you care? Why do you? She went in there of her own volition. She's a grown ass woman. If she dies, she fucking dies.
I mean, I could see like keeping an eye out for her, but at the point where she was like, "I'm gonna go look for her," I was like, "No, no, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard."
How much?
Not only did she kill herself, well, I guess she didn't die. She killed her fucking dad. Because if they didn't have to do that, they would have fucking left.
That was the weird thing.
Gone.
Is like that. Yeah,
that whatever.
That lady was in the helicopter with them, but she never pops out. Like it's raining.
I guess it's thunder out here.
Yeah, it's It's storming over here.
It's real spotty. It's like.
But she never gets back out of the helicopter, so it was like, is her friend dead too?
Hopefully.
How much money do you think it was that Bautista handed her? That was all hundreds, you assume, in that roll.
How big was it? Like this?
It was like it was like a handful.
Because I know $10,000 in hundreds is like this. So let's just say that was like 100,000, right?
Would you kill your own father for $100,000, Maverick?
No.
Thomas?
Yes.
My
guy smokes a pack and a half a day. He probably doesn't have that long anyway.
He'd want you.
He'd be like, do it, Thomas.
Take me out, Tom.
Take me out.
I've raised you for this moment.
Yeah.
Don't let me down, son. Because he has the pistol in his waistband, so if you don't do it,
I missed the
fucking
first
whips
shot.
his out.
Yeah. I missed the first shot, and he's
shooting
like,
his shoulder. He's like, "What the fuck?"
He's like, "I always knew you were a fat." I shoot him.
Wrong with you? Paint this picture of your dad. I don't like it. I know Tucker. He's a great guy.
He's a guy.
Use it as real name and shit. Man. It's not his name.
It's not. Yeah, that's
just... But
anyway.
I don't know. I mean, if your loved one was a zombie, would you do the was it Shaun of the Dead, where he keeps him in the woodshed?
No. Well, I told you my dad wants to do zombie things. We've been over this.
Oh yeah, he wants to stay a zombie, right?
Yeah, he wants to be a zombie.
What a weirdo.
Yeah.
Hey, I keep talking about that Duncan Trussell show where they get turned into zombies.
I know. We don't want to go back into this again.
It's the greatest life.
So
fucking Key and Peele had a zombie sketch. Good.
It was all the white people afraid of the black zombies or whatever. Yeah.
No, it was the white zombies afraid of the two black guys.
Oh yeah.
Walking down the street, they would avoid them. They were locking the doors and shit. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
So y'all gave your ranking on this, but where do you rank this as far as zombie movies go?
It's not a very good zombie movie. Like, there's not... Like I said, the zombies aren't really in it all that much. Like... because they pay them off. They pay off the zombies. So, I don't know. I'd watched this before Return of the Living Dead 2 or 3, but...
Well, that's because those movies are like 30 years old, but like in its prime time, would you watch this over those?
Probably. Those
You know
were
what I'm
just so
saying?
boring to me. Yeah.
I 2 was okay if you hadn't seen 1,
Nah.
but you had. So
Yeah. So.
I don't know. This has to go bottom of the list, right? Like what zombies? I would put Warm Hands under
Warm
this
Bodies.
one. Yeah, I put Warm Bodies. Like
Warm
not
Bodies
for this, but
Warm Bodies sucks. I went to the theater to see that. I hated that movie.
I wouldn't see that in the theater. No,
I mean,
but
it was a feel good movie, but it wasn't really a zombie movie.
No.
It was a movie that had zombies in it.
The zombies weren't actual zombies. I don't think. I mean, they were, but they weren't at the same. Those like creatures they turned into after a while were fucking crazy though.
Yeah.
Like the second stage of being a zombie.
Yeah, that movie was more of like a metaphor for like... Oh. Was more of like a metaphor for like, loneliness and how you start feeling like you're not even a person and then you can meet someone.
You getting introspective. This is nice.
What is this, a Warm Bodies movie? Reveal? Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else in your life is a metaphor, Thomas?
I don't know. I was trying to figure out what Maverick said that made him laugh, and then you were asking me a question. I was like, I don't know. Anyway, that's it for Army of the Dead. Next week, it's my pick.
Hold on.
Okay.
So we had 2 wrestler movies back to back.
Yeah.
Which one was better, They Live or Army of the Dead?
Fucking They Live. I mean, come on. So
this week, Scorpion King.
yeah. This week, Wrestlers versus Zombies, starring Mick Foley and Raven, and
Is that a real movie?
that's a real movie. Yeah.
Really?
Fuck?
Yeah.
I watched the hell out of that. Is Raven the bad guy?
I know. I think they're all good guys. I don't remember. Let's
Holy
see.
shit.
What's the name of this movie?
Wrestlers versus Zombies. Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies. Cast: Roddy Piper, Jim Duggan, Shane Douglas, Matt Hardy, Kurt Angle.
Holy shit.
Those are all the... Oh, Raven's not in it, apparently.
Oh, I meant to ask you.
What's up?
What is Batista? What was his finisher move?
The Batista bomb?
Well, yeah, but how do you do it? What is it?
It's just a power bomb, but then he would sit out as he slammed them down.
So he didn't do it.
He threw him at the ground.
No.
He threw him at the ground.
Because, pretty much, well, I don't think he does it anymore. But every movie Rock was in, he would rock bottom.
When he first started, he would rock bottom someone.
Yeah, and, everything.
But
whenever he got in a fist fight or stuff. So I assumed when the elevator thing happened that he did his move, but I guess not.
No.
Shout out to Batista.
I'm not actually picking Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies, but... I might actually pick it.
I know what he's picking.
Yeah, you know what?
The worst
it's gonna be great, dude. It's gonna be great. So next week,
not a horror film.
It's not a horror film, but for some reason people claim it is, so I'm picking it. Next week, we're watching the classic. It's not gonna get better than this, folks. We're watching Snakes on a Plane, starring the one and only Samuel L. Jackson.
I've never actually watched it.
I watched it when I was a kid. So the only thing I remember is that guy, obviously the line that everyone knows, and then the guy getting bit on his dick with a snake. So next week, look forward to Snakes on a Plane. That's not a horror movie, but people say it is, so I'm picking it. Yeah. Shout out to that. Is that our second? Have we only done 2 movies with Sam Jackson in it? 1408 and this one? Was there another one?
I think so.
I'm ready for some more. We haven't done it.
We haven't done that one, yeah.
I can't think of any horror movies with him in it.
I don't know. Do people consider that Unbreakable movie a horror movie?
Or Mr. Glass? Or
yeah.
No, that's a suspense, right?
Split was close to like a horror, more or less.
Yeah, but he's
like some scary.
Not in that.
Yeah.
Anyway, next week, Snakes on a Plane. Check it out. Yeah. Anyway, Maverick, got any final words for our loyal viewers? Well, he's
I have a
thinking.
question.
Okay.
Like, did either one of you think when that safe closed that the dude was just trapped in there forever? And I was like, that's worse than becoming a zombie.
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's what they wanted you to
I
think.
was like, why didn't that guy just lock them both in there?
Yeah.
Because he had time where he could have just went, all right, we're safe now. But you see what I did there? Because they're in a safe. They're safe now. Anyway,
Hey, do me a favor.
what's that?
Kill yourself. What is? Oh, it's a
So
knife.
fucking it'd be a slow, like, I'm getting there. Ah!
I was hoping you'd pick up your bottle opener and throw it at your own head.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
Man, I just realized when you look to the left, your face is fucking red.
It's burnt. Yeah.
Like, I was like, holy
Everything's
shit.
burnt. My arms are burnt. You can't really. That's just
It's a
from where
tomato.
my elbow was resting. But, whatever. Anyway. Next week. Oh, Maverick, did you have any last words? Tyler interrupted you.
I'm
Nah.
sorry.
Okay, thanks. Next week, Snakes on a Plane. There'll probably be an overtime coming. I'm going to try to get one going. We're going to do 31 or that Texas Chainsaw reboot.
That's the good one with Jessica Biel, right?
Yeah.
So hot.
So, I don't know if that'll be this week, but it'll be coming at some point.
And I'll be... Wait. no.
Whoa. Anyway, thanks for listening. Snakes on Plane. See you next time.